Welcome to this deep dive. You know the headline, right? 2017, Neymar goes to Paris Saint-Germain for 222 million euros.
Right, just massive news.
Yeah, absolutely huge. But today we're using our stack of sources on sports law and finance to, well, explore the hidden mechanics beneath that famous number. Because, I mean, this isn't just rich teams throwing money around.
No, not at all.
It's really high-stakes corporate contract law.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the underlying mechanics of that 222 million euros are just fascinating when you actually break them down. Like in European football, especially in Spain, where it's legally mandated, a release clause isn't actually a penalty for leaving.
Wait, it's not?
No. It is the mutually agreed upon price for unilateral termination.
Okay, so it's less like paying a fee to break your apartment lease, and it's
Yeah.
more like a rival company handing you 200 million in cash so you can walk into your boss's office, literally buy the rights to your own contract, and just walk out a free agent.
Yeah, that is exactly the mechanism in action.
Yeah.
I mean, PSG didn't actually buy Neymar from Barcelona.
Wait, they didn't?
Nope. PSG transferred 222 million euros directly into Neymar's personal bank accounts.
Oh, wow.
Right. And then his lawyers took that cash, deposited it with the Spanish Football League, La Liga, and basically bought his own freedom.
That triangulation works beautifully in Spain because, well, the law supports it. But I'm looking at the sources and struggling with how this translates to a totally different legal framework, like Mexico.
Right. Mexico is a completely different ballgame.
Because their constitution explicitly guarantees total freedom of labor, right? I mean, you can quit any job, anytime. So how on earth do Mexican clubs legally justify locking athletes into these massive deals?
Well, you can't physically force someone to stay, but clubs protect themselves using civil law, specifically what's called a cláusula penal.
Okay.
So the club can't stop a player from quitting. However, if they leave without just cause, they owe a pre-agreed compensation for the damages the club suffers.
Oh, so we're talking damages like losing major sponsorships or, the sudden panic of having to scout and buy a replacement mid-season.
Precisely. It protects the organization's operational stability. And there's this really unique wrinkle in Mexico's federal labor law, too.
What's that?
Well, if a club initiates the transfer and sells the player's rights to another team, the athlete is actually legally entitled to at least a 25% cut of that transfer fee.
Okay, wait. So if a player gets 25% on a normal transfer, why wouldn't a Mexican team just use the European method to sidestep that entirely?
Ah, the tax trap.
Yeah, like let's say a rival club hands a player millions to pay their own release clause, like the Neymar situation.
Mhm.
How does the Mexican tax authority, the SAT, view that sudden influx of cash hitting a personal bank account?
Yeah, the SAT views it as a massive taxable payday.
Ouch.
Exactly. That cash would be classified as income, which instantly triggers a 35% income tax hit.
That is brutal.
It is. Moving hundreds of millions of dollars through an individual's account just creates this enormous financial penalty, which is why Mexican clubs almost never use the Neymar method.
That makes total sense.
Right. To shield the athlete from that 35% tax hit, the clubs just stick to direct, club-to-club commercial transfers of the registration rights.
Oh.
We're essentially seeing player contracts treated as, like, complex financial derivatives rather than standard employment agreements.
So if that's the reality, what is the point of these 1 billion euro release clauses we see getting slapped on European players today? Like nobody
Yeah.
has a billion euros just lying around to buy their own freedom.
No one does. Those astronomical numbers are purely deterrents.
Okay.
Yeah, billion-euro clause is designed specifically not to be paid. It's a legal shield.
Oh, so it's meant to force any interested team to the negotiating table instead of unilaterally poaching the talent.
Exactly. But try bringing that billion-euro shield to Mexico and you hit another legal wall.
Really?
Yeah, you do. Mexican courts require penalties to match the real economic impact of a departure.
Ah, I see.
So if a player on a modest salary has a $100 million penalty for leaving, the courts will actually strike it down as abusive and disproportionate.
Wow. Ultimately, for you listening, these staggering price tags we see in the headlines, they aren't just vanity numbers.
Not at all.
They are intricate legal mechanisms constantly trying to balance a corporation's massive financial investment against an individual's basic labor rights.
It is really the ultimate collision of sports, civil code, and tax law all playing out on a global stage.
It really is. And it leaves you wondering something. If the legal framework exists for athletes to effectively buy their own freedom, are we moving toward a future where the wealthiest superstars act entirely as independent corporations?
Well, that's an interesting thought.
Right. Imagine a scenario where players bypass the traditional team structure completely,
Hmm.
negotiating and signing their own multi-million-dollar leases wherever they want. Something for you to think about.